In the second part of today, we are going to be talking about your workstation. So, yet again, this is a part of a series of trainings. You will receive information about all the parts that will be there and the way of how to access the materials and how to access the recording videos for your further reference. We'll be also running all the runs of the same training for people who couldn't make it there today. So, okay, I may want to hack a developer's account, but why would I want to hack a developer's machine? And here are some news stories related to VS Code this time. There are researchers who have found that, well, there are a lot of malicious VS Code extensions. Why is it so? We do not need that much of imaginations to actually understand why. Especially for people who work in corporate environments, if you can take control of the text editor of the developer on the IDE, you can inject a malicious commit. You can maybe also attack infrastructure of the company, either in the company or generally infrastructure. If the code is proprietary, you may want to steal it. You may access customer list and steal it, access bug list, maybe security issues that hasn't been fixed yet. And then you can even try to steal credentials to use them somewhere else. And that list isn't finished. And there are really many developers those days in the world, so, well, attacking developers' workstation could be an interesting target for malicious parties. So, when we are talking about developers' machines, we are talking about the work machines, we are talking about personal machines, this will be this direction, and we are also talking about your personal phone. So, what can we do? You have probably heard about the practice of updating your system quite frequently, and yes, I'm not going to skip this one. All software has bugs, we know it, and some of those bugs can be used by attackers, and in this case we call them security vulnerabilities. Malicious actors, they actually look into known vulnerabilities. And there is research showing that in some cases, attacks might start within minutes after a publication of a good-looking vulnerability. So, update the system regularly. If for some reason the complete update is not that an option, the priority is on your browser, chat services, and development tools. Those really should be up to date. Now about, well, system settings and installing software on your machine. Of course, less is better. If you can have multiple systems, one for development that is well protected and the other one. This is especially true if you are playing games. Games can contain a lot of unwanted things. There is a special case of phones. If your phone is used for some development-related activities, limit game, chat apps that you do not need. In general, limit installation of apps that do not come from a very good, well-trusted party, because they may contain a lot of malware, and we have reports of, unfortunately, malware getting into apps in the different app stores. So using an official app store doesn't protect from malware, unfortunately. On your system, what to do if you have multi-accounts? Well, avoiding having your spouse, children, friends, and parents using your development machine, especially if they want to install things. If you need to have other people on your machine, then do as much isolation as you can. And configure in such a way that only you can install software. That will limit the risks that you may have. Disk encryption. This is something that can protect your laptop in case if it's stolen. It protects all your credentials that you may have on the machine. It can also protect your confidential data that you may have, like company confidential information and such data. The advantage is that it protects your laptop. The disadvantage is that you need to type your password at boot. There are different configurations possible. That is not that hard to do, and not a very big deal. Those days, there's practically no performance penalty when you use full disk encryption. Your system is working as well as it did without. The best practices, if you want to get further, is to wipe down a device after a number of bad logins. Of course, in this case, you need backups. That works especially well for phones. If your phone gets stolen, make sure you configure it in such a way that after a number of bad pins, it just gets wiped down. And of course, backups encrypted and stored in a safe location so that you can restore where need comes. And of course, from time to time, at least once a year, try to restore your backup to make sure your backup system is actually working and it's not going to fail you at the moment when you really need it. A warning about hardware. USB keys. A found USB key can be malicious. It could be a hidden keyboard that is pressing some keys and causing some commands to be run on your system. There can be also malware in executable files, images, and videos on such a key. And do not forget that in the past, in a big attack to a system that wasn't connected to the internet, the attack on the Iranian nuclear program was done using a USB key. The malware that infected and broke the system was on a USB key. Now, an exercise for you. Think about how you can improve your development machine security right now. For an idea or two, what are the accounts and permissions that do not need to be there? Are you ready to enable full disk encryption? If not today, the next time you change your machine, think about it from the moment you set it up. And one thing that you absolutely can do just after this call, run an update of your system or at least of your browser. What can you do also? Think a little bit about the possibilities. That will be the second part of the discussion time. Yeah, I also have readings for you about the problems in IDE extensions and general knowledge about the Stuxnet issue. So let's remove this, stop sharing, and we can answer your questions if you have one. There's also the second part of the quiz that Joanna has posted. This is the quiz for the second part of the presentation. Test your knowledge if you know how to protect your desktop machine. While we are waiting for questions for today, I would like to explain how we are going to do the badges. You have probably heard that if you attend 2 sessions, you are going to get a badge. So, of course, first you need to attend both sessions. We have the session of today and the session of tomorrow. I do have. Of course, I have it. So I come back to the screen share in a moment. There will be also a second quiz. We will point it to you. We need to gather information, your mail name and surname for the badges in this survey. That is optional. If you do not want to apply for the badge, that's okay. If you want to get the badge, fill that information. We are going to do the same tomorrow, and then the people who were on both sessions will receive their badges. Now about the session of tomorrow, I'm going to reshare my slides. And yeah, if you haven't registered yet for the session of tomorrow, there's a different Zoom ID. Here's the registration link. And you can also find it in the flyers of this training, in our CSI information. And even if you do not have any questions right now, you can always contact the Eclipse Foundation security team by 2 main ways that apply to 2 different situations. If you want to contact us for confidential issues like vulnerabilities, possible breaches in your project, then mail security@eclipsefoundation.org. That is for confidential situations. And if you have a general question, for example, about the best practices of securing credentials, then ask us a question in the GitHub project Eclipse CSI. In this case, we can answer for everyone, and then everyone will be able to benefit from the solution. We are looking forward into answering different questions that you may have related to this training or other problems that you have had in your development practice. And I'm going to stop sharing. We have also shared the feedbacks badges form. We invite you to fill it out. Also, for the feedback, we want to know what you think about this training, what we can improve, what we can add, what you like, so that we can make it better for the next time.